This is an overview of the patient record for the captured information in the patient registration information system. So we're going to take a look at what kind of things are captured and where you can find them. So let's go ahead and open up a patient's record. We have a patient, Hampton, Stephen Hampton, and you can helps you to identify them because it gives their address. You, depending on the size of your event, you may have a lot of people with the same last name. So it's all the stuff that you've typed in when you registered the patient, but you also get all their services information, which is shown here, when they were given the form, when they were registered. They may have been given the form, they may have come back and asked for a dental form or come back and asked for some other kind of form that you're tracking in the system. But this was when they were originally registered. This is when they were given the form. This is a test system, so some of these dates aren't going to exactly make sense. And then this is when they were checked out, when that form's data was entered into the system. And the service value for that particular service area, the value of their service. They got $818 worth of dental on that day. And medical, they received $710. We can also, let's go ahead and look at the, might as well look at the details. Let's look at the details for the service area. If you click on that, you can see all the services that they were given and what day that was done, when they checked out, when the data was recorded, and the quantity. So lidocaine, they were given 2 shots of lidocaine, and the value in the system was $1 each. They were given 2 surgical removals at a value of $790, but you can tell everything that patient had, their whole record. You can go back to their whole record, and you can scroll down back to where we were to start with. If you want to edit those services, you can click Edit here, and you're right back into the edit page, so that you can update, correct things if you notice that something is wrong. Or let's go ahead and say that they were given 2 of these, and you just save it again, and then that's where everything is. Okay, so let's go back to that patient's record. And if you scroll down, some of the other things you can see are all the paper records that have been scanned and entered into the system. So here you can see there were 4 sets of forms that were scanned in for this patient. You can scan in 1 page at a time. That would be front and back. Or you can, if you've got 7 or 8 documents for that patient, you can scan them all in at once, and it'll just hold them all in one of these records. But let's go ahead and look at one of these. It's just the medical form that you put in. You can put in x-rays, you can put in prescriptions, you can put in handwritten doctor's notes, if the patient gave you some kind of a note, you can scan that in and store it with it. So any piece of paper you can store. And you get the front and back of the form. This is a typical form with the Paris standard label on it. I intentionally put it on at an angle to do some scanning testing. So this is where you would see all the patient's records. We do an OCR capture of a few of the words on the form to help you identify what the form is, but usually there's so few forms. You might have 3 or 4 or 5 records here at the most that you just click through them and you find the one that you want. Okay, something else you can do is you have the capability in the system for what is called destinations. If you are sending something off site, maybe some blood work you're sending off site that may not come back for a week or so, or may come back that afternoon, but you want a record of what you've sent off and where and for who, then you can record those, what we call destinations here, so that when you get that thing back from the Whaley Medical Labs, that you can see here as the destination, when you get that thing back, you can more easily find out who, link it to the patient, find out their addresses, phone numbers, and that kind of thing to get them the information. You can also, right from here, just print a label for that. If it's, you can just print a standard shipping label for it. Or if it's a small vial of some kind, you can print the smaller label that just has a barcode for the patient, but allows you to then, when that box or vial or set of new prescription glasses comes back and it's got this label on it, you can hit the barcode and bring back up the patient immediately and see all the information about the patient that you need. Another thing you can do with the patient record is you can do searches on the type of service. So you may be interested in knowing, let's say let's look at the dates here. Let's look here. No dental services there. So let's look at 24th. Okay, so you may be interested in finding a patient. You may have a patient that had some kind of an unusual service. Let's say a patient that had denture repair. Let's find, because we know the patient had denture repair. We need to get in contact with that patient again. And this is the only patient that had dental repair. So you could click in, find that patient, find everything you need to know about that patient. Or if you had a situation where on Saturday the 24th you wanted a list of everyone who, let's see, who got ibuprofen 600, prescription for that. And these are all the folks in case you needed that list for something or other. Okay, so you can go in by service, you can go in by the name or scan in the patient and find information about the patients. From here you can see the details for the services, and these are all the services that patient got and all the days that they got those services, the values for those services, and so on. You've also got a bunch of reports that you can go through. There's a whole bunch of reports here. Actually, most people are using the mobile web app now for the reports because it has so much, you can carry it around and it's got so much clear information on it. But you don't have to sit in front of a laptop in order to find out information about your clinic though. All right, that's patient record information.